Hello.
Check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
1, 2, 1, 2.
1, 2.
1, 2.
What are we doing today?
A sad story, but it is a story nonetheless. Our buddy Kevin, he bought some stuff prior to meeting us. So the first thing he bought was an IAG Magnum block, and he paid hefty money for it before they went down in price. And he had some heads built by another machine shop here locally. The work is not that great. Nonetheless, you know, the engine was put together, put in the car, and he brought the car over here for us to help him just get it running. You know, he did an R5 Haltech, he did an IC7 dash, he did a custom wire harness, everything. So there was just a lot of variables at play, and he wanted some help to get it running. So, you know, we spent a few days, helped him get it running. You know, it eventually started up. We did our initial like cam break-in, 20 minutes, you know, various RPMs. Changed the filter, and he took it home. Today he was gonna, you know, drive it, put some miles on it, and he was bringing it here. And he called me and said, hey, car's making a weird sound and it's idling really high. I pulled over, so we actually drove down the road with Darren's Forester and flat towed him back here because it was only about a mile away. You know, get it here, start it up, made a pretty rowdy sound, and it did idle at like 3,500 RPM. We're like, what is happening? So first thing we checked is the throttle body. Found out that something was lodged into the throttle body at some point and damaged the throttle body. It wasn't closing all the way, so that was the high idle. So then we're like, okay, what's making the sound? Because it's a brand new engine. So pulled spark plug, stuck a borescope in, and the engine had ingested something. Kevin had made all of his own intercooler piping, and there must have just been something that was left over in that intercooler piping, and it sucked it up and killed his brand new engine. So that is cylinder number 2. See if we got the original piston here that tore up. Those are the nice pistons.
It's over there.
Where at? Ah, here it is. So it ingested something. This has already been ultrasonic cleaned. Ingested something pretty bad. It deformed the piston here so bad that it kind of pushed it over into the cylinder wall, side loaded the piston pretty bad. This thing ran for a little over 11.6 miles. Very, very sad. As I'm sure most of you know, this is a very expensive engine. So Kevin pulled the motor out, took it apart. You know, obviously the heads are trashed. We're gonna build new heads. This brand new IAG block, I think, is savable. I'm working with the guys at IAG to get some of their proprietary parts so I can rebuild this thing. Anytime we have an engine that, you know, ingests something, we want to take the whole thing apart and make sure that there's no other damage that we don't see. So number 1, we're going to have to obviously replace the piston. Cylinder wall is okay. I think we might push a hone. We might hone it a little bit. But other than that, it's not scored up. There's not any metal transfer over it. Right here is the worst spot, but it's not where the piston rides. It's not where the firelock sits. It's just the kind of happy little spot right in between. So I think that's savable. I'll probably clean that up with just some Scotch-Brite, and then we'll stick a hone through it. Like I said before, I'm talking to the guys at IAG that I measured and weighed this piston. They're gonna try and get us a piston, you know, that's the exact same part number and everything, same weight, same size, that we can put right back in this. Clean room we have is rotating assembly. The clean room, less dirty room. So our main concern is it might have spun a rod bearing. The reason being is air is compressible, but big pieces of steel that are floating around in the cylinder are not compressible, and we heard a pretty bad knocking sound. So I'm not sure if maybe, you know, the crank hit the rod bearing real bad and it could have spun a bearing. So again, I had to talk with the guys at IAG because they hone all their own rods, and I have to make sure, you know, I put it back exactly how it was. So they told me, you know, the torque specs and stuff that they do with their rods, and so I know how to put this all back together. So yeah, kind of a sad story, but we're going to rebuild it, and it should be good to go. The main issue, these fun things right here. So his block being a Magnum, of course it's It's a 1/2-inch head stud, Firelock head gaskets, and these are the Firelock rings that actually go in the case itself. And these are one-time use only. They actually squish a little bit after they're used, and these were used for 11 miles. The sad thing with this is these head gaskets are impossible to obtain. Kevin said he waited about 8 months for these. We had to order some for one of our 1,000 horsepower engines we're building for a customer down here. This is another 1,000 horsepower engine right here that we built for somebody that's got Firelock head gaskets. Took us about 6 months to get Firelock head gaskets. We actually bought this set of Firelock head gaskets from Kevin a while ago because he had an extra set and he didn't need them. Well, now he needs them, but we're using them for this customer. So yeah, we'll see if IAG comes through to help us out, to help Kevin. And we'll have an updated little story here at some point. This is pretty sad. It sucks to see somebody spend this much time and effort on a engine, but this is the nature of the beast. It happens. There's so many variables, and something the size of my pinky can kill a $15,000 engine pretty easy. So that's it. Bye.